When they say a servant leader, what does it mean to you?
It's leadership by example. If you want to be a leader, you have to be a servant. And you have to lead by example. Today, we see all of our leaders, all our so-called political leaders, they're not leading by example. They're not giving us the right example to follow. And that's the major problem that we have in our society today. You do unto others what you want others to do unto you. That is not their own slogan. It is, they do anything that they feel they want to do to us. And when you want to do back to them, they cry foul. So, for now, I am ready, I am willing to lead my people by example. And that is what I believe leadership should be all about.
We're talking about leadership by example, talking about leading the people, talking about the politicians disappointing Nigerians. And you live in Ireland. You know how the system works. How and what will you do differently if you were voted and given that trust, that mandate by your people to go and represent them in the Federal House of Representatives? What will you do differently?
Well, I am going to make sure that I impart success, hope, improvement into the life of my people through their educational, health-wise, development of their rural environment, and bringing infrastructures. We can do it even without voting for us, because we have all this in our system. We have it in our blood. We are going to bring in expatriates to invest in our area. Last year, we brought in an agriculturist from Dublin who is ready to invest in agriculture in our area. And I am looking forward to that day when, if I am voted in, with my connection in overseas, in foreign land, I will be able to bring substantial development into my area.
Okay, let's talk about community development and representing your people, since you've started talking about it. You've talked about agriculture. So some of your priorities, if you were voted into power, is to look at how you can grow agriculture in your area.
Yes.
All right, okay. And you talked about community development, infrastructure, education. You can see how education all over Nigeria has decayed. But I do know that you alone cannot really facilitate the improvement of educational standard in your area. So what are you hoping to do when you mention education? Because the way education is now, we talk about poverty in Nigeria. I look at poverty of the mind. That's my biggest problem in Nigeria, because education used to be, even public schools used to be very good in Nigeria. But today, that's not the case. Not with public school, not even with the so-called private schools. So, where do we go from here? How do you collaborate with others to help in bringing back that glory that used to be found in our schools?
Well, educational standard has drastically dropped, not only in Ekiti State, but generally in Nigeria. And it is to do with us all. It is not about the government alone, because I went to a public school. I did my primary school in a public school, and it's just because of the belief that my parents had then in the public school. But today, we see a lot of rich people gambling, because once they have the money, they gamble into education and they build schools. And they do that just because of the economical gain. They don't do it because of improving the standard of the life of the kids. They do it because of what they want to get. By so doing, they do not care what standard or what how they are building the life of the child. That is not their priority. Their priority is their pocket. So it is a misplaced priority in education in Nigeria. And to be able to reverse and revamp the slide, it is a communal thing. You can't do it alone. It has to go right to the root.
Spirit has to be there.
Yes.
We all have to
Number one, we need a good facility, a conducive one for the pupil to study in. We see a lot of our primary schools. Let me take it from the basic. A lot of our primary schools, they don't have roof. Some of them, their roofs are leaking. No windows, no good chairs, no good desk to study. With that kind of environment, how do you now think a child will be able to study properly? It won't. So the basic things we overlook. We are tackling the bigger issue that there is a slide, but there are small basic issues that started the slide, and that's what we are not tackling, and we need to see to that. That's the first priority, giving a conducive environment to study. The next thing is, appointing qualified teachers to look after the pupils. Today, all the teachers are sellers. We have
business people,
businessmen. They're businessmen and women in the school. They bring in stuff to sell. Thereby, they do not concentrate on
the education of the children.
Role
of teaching and imparting knowledge.
So, and those little things are there to be addressed. And
how do we address them?
Well, we start from the beginning.
Like you said, through the communal.
Yes, we have to start from the communal effort, educating the people that we need to, all of us have to come together and then facilitate the development again of this slide to gradually grow up back.
I know that in 2017, in collaboration with Miss Nigerian Island, you took about 25 computers to the students. Is that a way of kickstarting that communal effort of helping to upgrade the standard of education in your place?
That is part of it as well. Like I said to you earlier on, there are a lot of things that needs to be addressed, but we cannot address it overnight. It is not something, this thing started 3 or 4 decades ago. It started nose driving, not now. And so, for you now to quickly want to revamp it, it's going to take you a lot of time. To rebuild does take time. And part of the rebuilding was one of the projects that we did last year, where we distributed 25 laptops to 25 undergraduates in the area to help them in their various projects. And that is part of our own little quota that we are trying to bring back into the rural area. So, and I believe that together with the people and together with the help of philanthropists, friends, we can achieve this goal.